So let me recap, okay, real quickly. So we completed like 4 sessions, right? Okay, I completed like 4 sessions. Okay, so let me ask some questions like, okay, if you want to create one simple template using React, how many libraries are required? We
Yeah.
required like 3 libraries. One is like React and React DOM and Babel. Okay, here if you want to explore something more, why we go for React? React for what? Okay, it is like recognize the component or not. Yes or no? Babel for what? To compile the JSX content or not. React DOM for what? To render my React component inside the container or not. My React component content inside the container. React used for recognize the component. Babel used for Babel used for compile.
Compile the component.
React DOM used for render the component content inside the container. What is JSX? JSX stands for JavaScript and XML. It is a combination of what? HTML, JavaScript, and XML. Which is used for what? To prepare some templates or content using React components. Okay. There we are going to write the source code, right? That code is like JSX. The JSX code should what? Compile or not? Who is going to compile the JSX code? JSX code, who is going to compile? Babel, right? What is the difference between HTML and JSX? HTML code is HTML is like a markup language. HTML is not compiled. JSX is going to compile or not. If you see this code snippet, what do you think about this app? Okay, you should not decide. Okay, you should not. Okay, conclude like app is like a function or something based on the uses. If I use like this, my app is what? A function. If I use like this, my app is what? A class. If I use like this, what is my app? If I use like this, my app is a component or
Component.
is like a component. Okay. Done. Now I have one small requirement is there. Okay, simply okay, write a component. Okay, which should print three layers line by line, line by line. This is my requirement. Write a React component which should print three layers line by line. Okay, then let's go. Now first, if you want to prepare okay the template like three layers template line by line in React, if you want to prepare the templates, how we can prepare? Using components. How many ways we can create the components in React? Two ways. One is like functional components, another one is like class components. My class components are going to duplicate so that you have to use like what? Functional components. Okay, let's go. I want to write one component which should print three players line by line. Then how? One component is required, that is a functional component. So this is the one. Done. This is my component. This component I want to use for what? To prepare a template. That template has three players or not, line by line I want. Then how we can return? Okay,
Written.
we can I take
Div.
it? I need the three players line by line. So if you want every line starts with new, okay, that means every new line, the content, if you want to place a new line every time, you can go with the block level element, either div or para or h1 like this. Now this is my simple component or not. So now Sachin, Dhoni, and Kohli. Like this, you can add it or not. This is my simple component or not. Now this component I want to compile. So how we can compile this? By using Babel. So how we can give it in the HTML file, if you write somewhere this script, how we can compile this particular component with Babel? By writing my type is like what? Text.
Text label.
By default, okay, by default my type is like what? Text JavaScript. It is compiled as like JavaScript, but I want to compile like a Babel, right? Not only JavaScript, We have JSX now. It's nothing but HTML and XML also included or not. Okay. Now this component I want to render inside the container. So I need a container or not. This is my container. Okay. Now I have a component which is compiled with Babel. I have a container. So this particular component content can you render inside the container using which library you can? React DOM is the library. Which method is there? The React DOM to prepare the root container. We have a root is the method which take your container reference or not, which take your container reference like this. Now once you have the container, now can I render what your component here or not? Yes or no? Agreed everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now I have few more questions. Let me, okay, I want to reproduce some errors. Okay, reproduce some errors means, for example, okay, errors are very, very important. If you write some code, okay, it's not like always like without errors, right? You may get some errors also or not. By seeing that error message, you should come to know like what fix is required exactly. Okay, like this, we are going to discuss like some error messages. Let's go there. Now, from here, let me open our workspace folder. Open recent. This is the one. Okay. Let me ask some questions. Okay. I'm going to do some modifications in the code in our first program only. I'm going to do some modifications. This is our first program. Hello world. I'm going to do some modifications. Just you can answer. Okay. Now, first question. Okay. Instead of capital A, just I added like, okay, A is like a lowercase letter. Now tell me what exactly the error message. What exactly the error message? What exactly the error message? Anyone? Okay, very simple.
And there is no error, sir, because it not app matlab it not found that component, sir. Line number 8 app is different, and line number 16 app is different, sir.
Yeah. So the execution flow we'll discuss it. First, my execution flow. Okay, my execution is going to start from here now. First line. React library loaded. Second one, React DOM loaded. Third one, Babel loaded. Fourth one, okay. Fifth one, this particular element plays inside where in the browser in the body tag. Now it comes here. Okay, it is compiled with what? Babel. If you find any compile time errors, immediately it is going to show the compile time error or not. Immediately it is going to show like a compile time error. Yes or no? Now there is no compile time errors, nothing. Compile time errors not there. Compile time error is nothing but what? You need to follow some guidelines. You need to follow some guidelines. I will tell that one too. Now, first this function loaded, not called, just function loaded. That's it. After that, it get the reference of your root element. Yes. After that, React DOM create root container reference. Now this is like a JavaScript container. Now this is managed by React DOM. Okay. Now root dot render. Now a element with capital letter. Element with capital letter. Now my React library recognized this one like what? Component. Yes or no? Element with capital letter. Now it is looking for what? In the entire script, it is looking for what? A component whose name is like capital A PP or not. There are not there. It is looking for a component whose name is like capital A PP. There are not there. Yeah. There are not there. Not there, right? Okay. If I'm looking for one member, that is a variable or method, whatever it is, that particular member is not there, then the time you can get the error. App is not defined. App is not defined. Now, if you observe here, what is that error? App is not defined. What is this one? I'm looking for a reference. Okay, app reference. Okay, I'm looking for this particular member reference. There are not there. Not there. That's the reason. What error we can get it? Reference error or not. See, in your code, you written like 1,000 lines of code, 2,000 lines of code. It's not a matter. For example, you used like one variable or one method which is not declared. Then that time you can get this kind of error. Okay, this app is there now. Now I'm looking for app. That the reason app is not defined. I'm looking for some F1. F1 is not there. Then the time it gives me an error like what? F1 is not defined or not. So anytime in your code, if you see is not defined, this kind of error, it means you are looking for one member, that member not defined or not in the context. I'm looking for that particular member in the script. In that script, that is not there. Got my point? Gap is not defined. Okay, now? Now, let me take it like this. Now, there is no error, nothing. My output is like as usual, hello world or not. My output is like as usual, hello world. Okay, now? Let me do one more change. Okay, now? Let me do one more change. Let me do one more change. The change is this time vice versa. Hmm. Now, anyone guess? Now, anyone guess? See,
Yes,
first
sir,
you
same.
should have to comfort with the basics. After that, okay, you can easily manage. If you know how to write one component end to end, the same type of components we are going to write like hundreds of components in my application. What's wrong with that one? Okay, in and out, you should know about at least one component. Let's go. App is not defined. Okay, first thing is my line number 16. Okay, now my line number 16 is executed. See, root dot render. Now tell me this particular one, my React is like a recognized like a component or not recognized like a component. When my React recognized this one like a component, element format and come on, element with the capital letter, right? See, this is my browser here. Inside the browser, React is there. Hmm? In the browser, app is loaded. In the past, app is loaded. My browser don't know about this one. Who helps to my browser? Hey browser, this is the capital letter, starts with capital letter with element format. So recognize this one like a component, do an action as like a component. Okay, like this, my React helps to my browser. Now, whenever I written like this, tell me, my React, is it recognized like a component or not recognized like a component?
Not recognized.
Not recognized like a component. Whenever my React not tell to my browser as like a component, what my browser is going to think? Okay, what my browser is going to think? It is going to take like React component action. It is like normal element. My browser think like. Come on, my browser think what my browser is going to think. It is going to think like, okay, take an action as a component. It take an action as like a normal element.
Normal element.
Normal element, right? Now browser is going to think it's like a normal element. In my browser already multiple elements loaded, right? My browser supports all my HTML elements or not. Now my browser is going to check in the list, is there any element? I have div element is there, span is there. Okay, like this hundreds of elements are there. Is there any element whose name is like app? There are not there. In HTML, is there any element name is like app? There are not there.
Not there.
Not there, right? Not there, right? Then that time my browser check in the checklist, no element match with this name. Then that time my browser said like, hey user, I am not able to recognize this one. Okay, I am not able to recognize this particular app. I'm not able to recognize this particular app in the browser. Like that is going to give one error message. Now see, if I, yeah, not an error message, it's a kind of warning. Now if I refresh the page, if I refresh the page, can I go to the console? Okay, now can you read this? The tag app is unrecognized in the browser. If you mean to render as a React component, start its name with the uppercase letter or not. Understood? It is a error or warning. It is an error or
Warning.
warning? Warning. Why? Why? Because my browser by default, if it is like an element, it is not throw any errors. Why? Because okay, HTML or like what not compiled at the same time, whatever you written that is directly rendered in the browser or not. It's a markup language. Now come here. Whenever you written like element with lowercase letter, my React library is not tell to my browser as like a component. Why? Because React has some guidelines. Element with capital letter, then only it recognizes it like a component, ask to my browser to perform component related actions. Whenever it is like an element with lowercase, now my React is like keep silent. Okay, this is not a component, why I need to involve? Okay, so my React is like keep calm. Now it is go to where? Browser. Now my browser is thinking like my React didn't tell anything to my browser, nah? It's like a component or something else. Then that my browser is going to think like what? This is like element, normal element. Now it is going to check in my browser. There has okay some elements are there, HTML elements. Any element match with the app? No, no element is matched with the app. Okay, why? Because HTML elements are like what div, span, h1, h6, anchor, that kind of elements are there, but no element is like app. Then the time my browser throws one warning message is what? The tag app is unrecognized in this browser. If you mean to render as a React component, suggest. Okay, start it's like a uppercase letter or not. Understood everyone? Hmm? Okay then. The next one. Uh, Now, what error you can get it? See, if you see this error, you should come to know like what kind of fix is required. That the reason error messages are very, very important. Whenever you see the error message, you should know in your mind, okay, that fix has to run. Okay, to this particular error message, this is the fix is required. Like that, you have to practice. Okay, let's go. If I do, okay, this change, what's my output? If I do this change, what is my output? If I do this change, what is my output? Okay, see, component is okay. My React is recognized this one like a component, that is also okay. My component content compiled with Babel, that is also okay. But if you come here, document dot get element by ID of root. In my DOM, any element whose ID is like root, there or not there? I removed that one. There or not there? Not there.
Not there.
If it is not there, container is there or not there? Container available or not available? Not available. Now, the container is nothing but space is not there. If the space is not there, okay, then how you can render the component? Okay, in my normal terminology, okay, my space is nothing but what? One element is required. That element is there or not there? Not there, right? So that you can get the message is like this. Okay, what is that? Can you read it? Can you read it? Target container is not a DOM element or not. In the past, we have the div. Why? Because div has ID root. But now, okay, container is null. It's not a DOM element or not. So you can get the error is like what? Target container is not a DOM element or not. Understood, everyone? If you miss something, okay, the container reference or something, if my container is not gives me the top okay element, my container other than like null or something, then that time you can get the error is what? Target container is not a DOM element. If you see this error, okay, in your console, you have to check first container is this one. Okay, now container reference you taken here, so you have to check line number 5 and line number 12. Container reference you are getting like nulla, you are getting like one element diva, you have to check it to fix that error. Understood everyone? Come on. Okay, the next one. Now, frequently, okay, initial days we are going to do this kind of mistakes. Anyone guess? I just create R is the capital, right? Okay, I make it like just lowercase r. That's it. What kind of message you can get it? Anyone?
It is not found.
So again,
Truth method is not found.
okay, exact error is what you know.
Mm.
Exact error is react dom dot create root. This is the one, right? Is not a function. Not a function. You can elaborate more, you only come to know. Okay, first thing is like react dom, okay, is there or not there? Let me refresh the page, you can see the error message first. Let me save it, already saved, right? Let me go to our browser, just refresh. Now you can see the error message is what? React dom dot create root is not a function. Okay, see, this is a message. This one may be vary, okay, but wherever you see now onwards is not a function. Okay, what is the fix? What, why this kind of error messages you can get it, I will tell. Now come here, first of all, react dom there are not there are, check it. React dom, you know, right? JavaScript is a case sensitive na, yes or no? React dom. Okay, now tell me, if you click on enter, what error message you can get it? What error message you can get it? See here, react dom is a capital. Here react dom is like a small. What error message you can get it? React dom is there or not
Is
there?
not defined.
Not there.
Not
Not
defined.
defined. React dom is not defined or not. This kind of error message you can get it. Yes or no? So by seeing this one, what you can understand? JavaScript is a case sensitive or not? JavaScript is a case sensitive or not? Yes, JavaScript is a case sensitive. Okay. Now React DOM, this is our actual member. This is our actual member. Now in this we have create root R capital. There are not there are create root. Whose type is what? One function. Okay na? But create R small. There are not there are. In this particular React DOM reference, okay, React DOM object, create root, there are not there, R small, R capital is there, but R small, there are not there.
Not
Not
there.
right. In this particular object reference, one property not there in JavaScript. What is the value? Undefined is the value. Now tell me, you are written, okay, you written the code like this, na? Any programming language you can take it. Okay, if you see this parenthesis, what do you think? Any programming language you can take, if you see this parenthesis, what do you think? It's a function, right? Yes or no? Now if you see the statement like this, it's a function call. It is not only JavaScript, either it is like a Java, .NET, Python, PHP, whatever it is. If you see one statement like this, okay, if you see one statement like this, okay, now this is nothing but a function call. You are calling which function? You are calling which function? Okay, here two sections are there. You are calling the prefix, whatever you have, that should be what? That should be a function or not? Yes or no? You are calling a function means a should be what? It's a function call. It's a function call. Which function call? A function call. So my a should be what? A should be function or not? That means my prefix value should be function or not? Whatever the call you written, the prefix value is there, not that value should be a function. But if you come here, if you see this statement, here also two sections you can say. Here you are calling, right? Whenever you see this parenthesis, the prefix value should be what? This value should be what? Come on, this value should be what? A function, na? But create r small. Okay, if my react dom dot create root r small, that is the value is what? Undefined. Yes or no? It is undefined. But here you are expecting what? As per this statement, you are expecting what? A function. Is my undefined is a function? Is my undefined value is a function? No, right? That the reason you can get the error is like what? Undefined is not a function error, you can get it. See, react dom dot create root is not a function. It is what? It is a undefined value or not. Understood everyone? It is a undefined value or not. Got my point? Agreed everyone? Okay, simple. Again, let me explore more. Can anyone guess what exactly the error was now? Come on, elaborate. What exactly the error was?
B is not a function.
See, first two sections are there. B and call. So first it is looking for B. B there or not there? B there or not there? B
Not
itself
there.
not there. So that one member you are looking for, that member is not there. The error message is what? B is not defined. B is not defined. See, okay, step by step, all the statement, entire statement will not execute first. Okay, just you can step by step you can check. First, looking for the B. B is there or not there? Not there. So that here itself it throws an error. What is that error? B is not defined. Now let me do something like this. Now tell me, B defined or not defined? B defined
Defined.
or not? Yes, defined. So that B is defined. Okay. Now, if you see this statement, okay, you are calling B means my B should be what? A function, right? But here B is a function or number?
Number.
Number.
Number. This statement looking for B as a function, but actual B as a integer or number. Is my number is a function? Is my number is a function? No, right?
No.
It gives me an error is what? B is not a function or not. Got my point? Come on, B is not defined, B is not a function. See, error messages are very, very important. Okay, these error messages not only for React, any JavaScript related library or framework, any JS related library or framework, these error messages frequently you can see in your console while developing an application. Got my point? Okay, let's go there. Now create root. My React DOM is there, create root also there. Okay, create root is not there, but here React DOM is there, create root is not there. So the value is like what? Undefined. Undefined, I'm using like what? Function. That's the reason you can get the error is like what? React DOM dot create root is not a function. Now slide change I'm going to do, okay? You know this one simply. What is the error? What is the error? First, it is looking for what? React DOM. See, this much big statement is there. That's okay. But you have to split it. First, looking for what? React DOM. This statement fail up, also check it. React DOM, there or not there? DOM, small. React DOM, there or not there? Not there. So, React DOM here itself failed. So, what is the error? What is the error? React DOM is not defined is the error or not. Okay, na? Now come here. React DOM, there or not there? Yes, there. Okay.
There.
Yes, there. Inside this one, create a small r. There are not there? Not there. So that
Not there.
here the value is what? One object is there. Inside the object, one property is not there. The value is like undefined. You not stopped here. There is continuous. Okay. There has one more statement is there. This one you are calling. You are calling means the prefix should be what? Function. But here my prefix value is what? Undefined. Why? Because r is like small. Okay, so this statement is expecting this prefix value is like a function, but the actual value is like what? Undefined. That the reason undefined is not a function or not. Undefined is not a function. So that is the error you can get it. Understood everyone? Now, the next one, I removed this one. In HTML, okay, no need to follow any guidelines. If you not close also, no problem at all. It is going to run. But this is like a HTML, it is like a JSX. Is it like HTML or is it like JSX? In React, it's a
JSX.
JSX. JSX code should compile, right? Now it is going to compile. The compile time error, you can get it. What is that compile time error? Okay, missing. Okay, see this compile time error. See syntax error. Okay, what is that syntax error? Can you read it? Now, unterminated JSX content or not? Unterminated JSX content means you opened one element in the JSX. It's a JSX element, not HTML. Okay, looks like HTML only, but my HTML is a subset to my JSX or not. So, open element, but you not closed properly. It is not terminated like, okay, it is not terminated as expected or not. That the reason, what error you can get it. What exactly the error you can get it? Okay, it's a syntax error, unterminated error, you can get it or not? Yes, no, that is only the one you can see here now. See, unterminated JSX contents. Okay, now let's go then next one. Now you terminated properly, okay, but this is not there. Now who is going to compile? Who is going to compile this script? Who is going to compile now? Babel or JavaScript? It's a JavaScript one, right?
Java.
Now, if it is like a JavaScript one, is my JavaScript knows about the JSX? Is my JavaScript knows about the JSX to compile? Now, it is not. That the reason it is like a failed. In which line? Hello.html, line number 9. See here, line number 9, it is failed. Line number 9 is where? This is the one. Okay, line number 9, which character? If you see here, 9, 16 is there, na? 9, 16 is nothing but 9 is the line number, 16 is your character. If you observe here in your code, from here to here, it's like 16 characters. Here it's like failed. Here it's like failed. It is not recognized by JSX. Why? Because if it is like a compile with JavaScript, it is looking for JavaScript only. Okay, JavaScript is what? Function. That's okay. But here it is not a, okay, either element, okay, either it is like a number or it is like a string, it's like an array. It's not like this. It's like what? One element or not. But in JavaScript, it is not recognized this one as like a JavaScript member, so that it gives me an error. That the reason, if you see this kind of error somewhere, okay, most of the times you are going to missing right type equals to text babel. If you see this kind of error, syntax error, unexpected token or something like this, then the time you can understand like, yes, I missed my, okay, compilation with the babel, okay, so that it is compiled as like default JavaScript or not, you can get that error. So here, okay, what you have to mention? My type equals to text babel, you have to mention. Type equals to text babel, you have to mention. Understood everyone? All are okay? Now you have to tell exact answer, okay? Now tell me. Come on. After our discussion, last discussion, you have to tell last point discussion. Now you have to tell line number 16, exact error message is what? Line number 16, exact error message. Line number 16, exact error message is what? Okay, don't worry. Now see, line number 16. Okay, these many, okay, this much big statement is it. Don't worry about that one. Split it. Step by step you can go. First, root. Root there or not there? Tell me, root there or not there? Yes, there. So that no problem at all. After that, you can add this one. You can add this statement and you can split this statement. Root dot render. Okay, inside the root, render method is there, but r is like a small. But now r is like what? Capital. Capital render. There are not there are not there. If it is not there in the object, one property is not there. Okay, dot wherever you see, that is an object. In the object, one property is not there, the value is like what? Undefined. So this one is like what? Undefined. Okay, now if I merge this statement, now tell me, you are calling means, you are calling with parameter, without parameter, it's not a matter. You are calling means my prefix value should expected like what? Function. But now that value is a function of undefined. Undefined. That the reason what exactly you are getting. Expected a function, but received other than function, received undefined. So what error you can get it? Root dot capital render is not a function error, you can get it or not. Root dot capital R, okay, render is not a function. This kind of is not a function. Wherever you see in your code, in your UI related application, either Angular, React, Vue.js, it's not a matter. If you see is not a function error, simply you can understand like you are expecting a function received other than function. You are expected what? You are expecting a function, but you received what? Other than function or not. Understood? Got my point, everyone? Okay. Any questions? Now here there has multiple libraries are there, right? Order matters or not. Okay, for example, my React loaded first now, after that React DOM loaded. For example, if I load React DOM first and then React, think, okay, now what happened? Will it work or not work? Will it work or not work? If I refresh, then that time, see what happened. There has some React DOM.create root is not a function. There are some error you are getting. That means my React DOM, if you first loaded, okay, it is looking for what? Some React functionality, recognize the component, all this stuff, right? So first component has to recognize for that React is required, right? So my React DOM is depend somewhat, it is depending upon your React library. You loaded first React DOM and then React, that time you, okay, you get this kind of error. So that in this approach, order also matters. In this approach, order also matters. That the reason, make sure you have to load what? React first and then React DOM. What about Babel? Okay, if it is okay, if it is right somewhere, okay, like this, okay, just I changed the order. First I loaded, then that time here the Babel is used for what? To compile your JSX content, right? So there is no dependency, nothing. There has no dependency, nothing. Wherever you want, you can load the Babel. But make sure if you use this statement, just before this statement my Babel should be there. Okay, so here order is not a matter. You can load Babel first and then React or React DOM. Otherwise, you can keep in between also, or later also you can put it. But the matter, okay, the order matters for these two statements: React first and React DOM later. React first and React DOM later. Understood, everyone? Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So these are the error messages you have to remember. Okay. Okay, then. The next one is, can you do one thing from your end? Just go to the Crick Info. Now come here. By seeing this website, these tiles are there, na? Scoreboards. What do you think about this scoreboard? If I give the requirement to you, hey, can you develop this particular header pod using React? Okay, what do you think? Come on, you want me to go with the component, reusable component or not in this case? Tell me. See, if you observe here, look and feel wise, and this one and this one and this one and this one, same or not? Template wise, look and feel wise, content, don't think more about the content. Look and feel wise, same or not? Yes or no? These all scorecards, look and feel wise, same or not? If it is like look and feel wise same, then that time can I go with the React component like a scorecard? Okay, can I use that scorecard component in multiple places, how you want, how many times you want? Yes, no? The content may be vary, my content may be vary. Here the content is like Sri Lanka, New Zealand, here Zimbabwe, Afghanistan, my content may be vary, but my template, my look and feel wise, my template is like same or not? Wherever in my application development, my template is like same, my content may be vary, then that time create a component for that particular template. You can use that particular component how many times in how many places you want. Got my point? When you can go with the component. Okay, what is component in React? Why we go for component? Simple, which is used for to prepare the templates which can be reusable or not. This particular statement not only for React, for Angular components we are going to write. View components we are going to write. It's like a general statement. Okay, wherever in your requirement, if you see this particular look and feel wise somewhat it is like similar, don't think about the content, then that time create a component, just you can use that component. Sometimes it is one time also, don't think more about that one, just create a separate component. Create a separate component, one section, it is like a independent, it is going to tell something about, okay, something about something, okay, it's tell something about, okay, whatever it is like an independent section, then that time create a component. Why? Because that particular, if you want to use in future, again no need to create again the component, already you created that component, you can use that component in future wherever you want. That the reason, whenever you go for the development, don't write directly the code, just explore the thing. Okay, this is the page I have to develop, so that how many components are required, which section I need to create like a component, which section I have to, okay, create like a reusable component, that kind of okay, you have to explore. You have to, before develop anything, you have to explore, and then you have to start your development. Okay, you can write everything in a single page, but it is not recommended one. Why? Because the code, everything is like tightly coupled. If it is like a tightly coupled, a part, if you want to use in another page, that is not possible. That the reason, make sure, okay, make it, split it, make it like pieces. Just you can use that each and every section, each and every piece is like one component. In future, if you want to use, you can use it. Otherwise, you can use one time, no problem at all. No problem at all. Got my point? Okay, if it is only the place, tell me how many components as per you. Okay, which section you want to create like a component if it is only the base. Come on, if it is only the base. Hmm? As you said, this is like a scorecard on component you can create. Next, come on, if it is only the requirement, okay, I'm not asking about the code or something. Just think which one, which sections are you want to create like a components. Come on. See, this red color is there. Okay, this color is there. No? Okay, sky blue. Okay, I'm going to take this whole thing is like one header component. In the header component, top header, okay, one more component I'm going to create, and scorecard one more component I'm going to create, and menu one more component I'm going to create. That means, okay, header section, top level header section. My header section contains, again, there has some partitions like what, top level header and scorecard and menu also or not. Yes or no? You can create, okay, this sky blue color one component. Inside the component top level, okay, scores. The next one is like scorecards. The next one is like a menu with logo, all this stuff. In the menu component, again, this logo I'm going to create one component. Why? Because this logo in my application, wherever you want, okay, just use that component. one reusable component I want to create. Remaining these all are like what, menu items, one menu component I'm going to create. Okay, now if you come here again, see this stuff. Okay, these all are, again you can create like some components. Yes or no? Now here see this, it's like one image and some description, and then this is the ad. That's okay, fine. But if it is like, okay, one component if you want to create, you can create and iterate that list how many you want, 5 times or 10 times or whatever it is. And now, okay, this is like actual body section. Okay, here, okay, see here is splitted like what, right side and left side. Left side, if you observe, huge content is there. Okay, right side there has some other content is there. So I want two sections here. Okay, horizontally you can use 80% one section and 20% is like one section using bootstrap. Using bootstrap or material UI, there has grid system is there. Okay, now here vertically we are going to use like some videos, okay, some ads, whatever it is. Okay, just he added. Okay, this is one kind of, okay, this is one kind of component, one component you can. And here see this, okay, it's like a carousel. This is one kind of component. See this carousel component. Now the same carousel component here also you can use it, but there what you have, there here you have some videos kind of, but here you have a text kind of or not. It's a reusable carousel component or not. Yes or no? Here it is like normal one image, some text. Okay, one component you can create. In future if you want, okay, this component in multiple places you can use it. Everything is like one component you can create. A playlist, one component like this. Okay, links, one component you can create. More, okay, most read, one component you can create. Like this, each and every section you can create like one component, whether you use in multiple places or one time also. One time also. You got my point? Okay, left 20%, middle minus 40%. Okay, this you can use easily. Okay, if you have a idea on grid system in bootstrap, okay, simply you can partitions. Okay, instead of using positions left, right, something like that, better to go with bootstrap. Got my point? Okay, now see here like a one component you can take it, it's a kind of tabs. It's a kind of tabs. See this, it's a kind of tabs or not. Okay, this is also one kind of component. Understood? Now see, this is one component. This component top stories. This component used how many times? Content may be different. My component used how many times? 10 times you used. Okay, 5, 4, okay, 8 times you used. Like that, you have to go with, okay, any requirement they given. First of all, you have to think. Okay, first of all, you have to think which place you have to create like a reusable component. Okay, which section you want me to create like a component. You have to think about that one. Understood? Color okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay then. So today we not written any new program. I already shared the programs with you. Who joining from today onwards? Okay, just okay. You want all? If you want all the programs, just can you go to this website, Kalam Schools? Let me share with you. Okay, just go to this website. Okay, paste it in chart. Just go to this website. Okay, if you click on this website, okay, you can see this space here. You can, if you want to practice HTML editors we have. Okay, this is our own website. Okay, TypeScript, React, and Python and Java. Okay, now you can go to program section. Okay, if you want React, just go to React. Now the box, first program is the box, and find some like this. Okay, all these programs we are going to cover. You can understand the first program, just you can go through this one. Okay, now see, four boxes I want. In the first box Sachin, second box Dhoni, third box Kohli, UV, like that. You can do some changes immediately here itself. It's a kind of editor. If you run, you can see the results here itself. Okay, real quickly if you want to practice. Okay, not only programs like not only React, we have JavaScript programs also, Angular, Python, Java, data science also we have. If you want, you can go with that, but our main focus is on React and JavaScript. Okay, now you can go to the notes section. Our class is like MERN stack, right? Let's just click on the MERN stack. Okay, now today our discussion started from where? From here now. Okay, from here let me add this running notes. Okay, let me add this running notes. Control C. Now the okay, so far we added two three four class two three three classes, I guess. Okay, running notes is here, and now today's running notes here. Okay now, today's running notes here. I can differentiate day to day, how, you know, just you can see wherever, okay, the line is like this, then you can understand like, okay, up to here today's notes, like that you can understand. Okay, now see, okay, the previous class notes here, today started here and ending is like here. Okay, today's running notes. Now if you want to download this running notes, you can download it. Okay, you can see the running notes here like this. Okay, now say up to here it's downloaded or not. Now same way you can download the class programs also. Download class programs. If you click on the class programs download, whatever the programs I discussed day 1 to till today, all the programs. Okay, all the programs, whenever you download, you get like day 1 to till today. Now if you open this one, you can see all the programs day 1 to till today. Okay, if you want, just you can go through this one like this on daily basis. You can see the running notes, you can see the programs here. Okay, now that is one thing. The next one is I asked you to write the programs also. Okay, that one we are going to start next week onwards. Now let's go to uijavakit.com. Let's go to uijavakit.com. This is also my own website. In this website, okay, you can, before go for the interview, you should complete HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Okay, you are a MERN stack engineer. Okay, so that Node, these HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and React and Node. Okay, whatever the concepts you have here, you have to complete it. Okay, JavaScript, these many concepts are there. Just you can go through these concepts, and videos also you can find here. Just you can go through those concepts. These concepts we are going to cover as part of our workshops, important concepts. And go to the React. Okay, introduction and JSX. Okay, now up to here only we cover it, right? So far those you can go through. It's a kind of soft copy. Okay, how to create the components. It's like a function component or class component without JSX. These all stuff you can find here. So whatever the concepts we have, you have to complete these concepts. At the same time, JavaScript also. Okay, if you go for any interview, I'm sure that if you put like 3 years of experience, whatever it is, most of the times they're going to ask these concepts only. So that make sure if you go for any interview, complete these concepts before go for the interview. Understood? Okay, there has, okay, 3 more websites also there. I will tell, okay, when it is required. First, comfort with the basics. If you know, if you learn basics, okay, next level you can easily understand. If you're not able to, okay, that's the reason we need to spend some more time on the basics. Okay, okay, then we'll continue remain things in tomorrow's session. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining.